Welcome everyone. This is instructional video number 7. We're going to continue our talk about the light cell energy frequency bodies of light. And we've been talking about how the different individual appearances of our bodies of light can come together and coagulate as one unit of time wave technology, or in other words, one thought of our existence here in the now. We've been performing so much energy work since we first unfolded our light cell energy frequency bodies of light on this earth, and we have been working with such higher essences of spirit and spirit light that we have become this wonderful dream band, like a bandwidth of light, that is forming. It's a formation of a dreamland state. It is a replica of everything we want to make. We want to be clear in our energy here. We want to deliberate about more messages sending through our atmosphere to release any denigration, any fear, any astral identity with the lower reflexes of thought here. The energy that was caught, it was distraught, it was spliced into inferior, lower, lesser, darker light. That energy sphere is now clear. We've made that very clear. In many of our timelines, we have produced and reproduced molecules, moments of fear, in which we were quite able to clear the subterfuge, the energy spheres that were not very clear. In other words, they weren't clean. They were dirty. They were muddied up. They were disseminated along lines of truth that was not viable. In other words, it couldn't be brought into existence in that formation, that form of light, because it was too dark. It was as dark as your night. And when we have replaced the complacency and the fear and all of that antiquated allotment of time here, we have opened up your wavelengths to field more energy light, to be able to access them in your higher insight, your higher vestibules of light, which we've talked about for some time now. In other words, all of these energy fields were able to reproduce higher and higher encoded light, and the higher and higher energy lights on the planet were able to work with these new maneuvers over time. It's time wave thought technology. We're time lords in our own essence of time, here on your planet of light. So as Mother Gaia went through and rested and digested all of your energy, it became very apparent that she was lacking in the self-esteem molecule to move her cell light energy force forward on a new divinity line of time. So we had to gather more steam, more engineering, more alliances or alignments with other beings of higher thoughts to bring her spinal cord of time back into alignment with the higher divinity line. Because basically, in your language, you would say that she had dropped off course of what she had planned to resurrect here on the planet. So when she was in fields of lower self-esteem, in other words, she didn't feel that she could be cleansed of all the negativity and the harmful energy that had been done to her. She released and relaxed more energy spheres of higher negativity so that they could be brought forward to you and to us and to all of us working together in our fields of light to enlighten the planet, to bring her back to her light. It's not that she rested and digested or divested any of her higher higher cell energy bodies out of her. It was that she needed to be clean or cleaner and clearer to hoist all of humanity along. It's like there's a cart with a horse. The horse itself can draw the cart. When the cart is too full, though, if that cart was laden with stones or heavy woodwork or something, that laden it down too much, then the horse would not be able to draw it along the road by itself. The horse would require extra assistance. So it's like we went out and we got you a team of horses to lighten the load. And this is what Mother Gaia's direction has guided us in. She's been very forthright and forthcoming with her knowledge, with all beings of light surrounding her. And she has aided us in understanding exactly what course of action she would like to take. So it's like when you want to build a structure. Let's say you wanted to build a log home. You didn't quite have the expertise or the knowledge or awareness of how to cut the lumber just so and line it up into an array that would create a solid, beautiful foundation. So you garnered and gathered help from far away. So let's say if you were in America, you would go to the Swedes, to the Swedish alignment with their light for their very good understanding of how to create a log home. And then the teamwork would begin. So there would be a lot of give and take in their flow of energy, them helping you create what you wanted to see. There would be some alignments in directionability. In other words, how do we want this guided along? Do we want a 10-foot square home or a 1,000 square foot home? That sort of thing, that alignment in the light. What did Mother Gaia want to create down her future lines of time? So she brought in a whole bunch, a whole crew of very high energy beings of light along with you. And we all came together in Team Spirit Light to work with her energy. It was all about removing the energy sphere of fear that dominated and controlled all the beings of light residing here. And she knew what maneuvers to do. She just needed a little help with her booster rockets and boosting her energy fields, because they had been so misaligned with the darker lines of time. It kind of wiped her own clear vision in her mind of what exactly she had drawn to herself. And she knew when she came in here to do this job, and it's not like we haven't all worked together in the past over many eons of time. She knew what she wanted to do, but she just, after dropping in so many fields of darkened light, she just needed a little bit more energy to help her gain the ground that she needed in the higher sound. So now she has many, many, many higher bandwidths of thought working with her, generating these angelic spheres of light that are so highly encoded with archangelic light that's now been coming through, and the master codes too. And this has all been an awareness of consciousness arising, awareness, awakening, rising. Yes, it's a subconscious commitment to the light, to raise the subconscious awarenesses. And we have moved you through your darkest of night, your darkest, dreariest dreams, all those hidden from viewpoints of yours, those hidden aspects of lower self. We've worked with you to maneuver this to a point where you can see it now. And you could clear it, which was the most important task that we all drew to ourselves and drew to you, to understand how it is we go about doing a consciousness, awareness, awakening, rising up. So it's an uplifting movement in shadows of time that were delinquent on their own divinity line. So Mother Earth, our beautiful resonant Gaia, is now in full depth and breadth of her higher light, as she was all along, before she came in to experience all of your dark of nights. So we're all in the same light cell energy frequency body of light that we once were, that we once generated with her. We're all in higher light. And this energy code, this energy flow that we're all connecting with now on the planet is part of your progress in the light. So the light cell energy frequency bodies of light generate higher light. They create the wisdom light. They create the higher learning. There's an aspect of all of these energies coming together as one, in triplicate to the energetic sun, that we came together as one. So we were one being, one angelic sun. We were one course code of the angelic one. So we're being a light cell in the energy body of the sun. And the sun correlates to the highest frequency of being at peace and at one. So when we came through to divest our knowledge with you, we already had ramped up our own sequencing of the birthing process with you. And we came through and delineated which course codes you could align with. And through the light cell energy frequency bodies of light, we grew knowledge for you. So we transmitted our downloads to you. We opened up vast networks of light for you. We made proposals of light too. And we engineered higher prosperity lines just so that your divinity codes could come online at just such a time as ours. And in the corporeal forms of light with which you have endeared yourselves to, we have created these awesome, magnetic, worthwhile endeavors with your highest beam of light, which is your light cell energy frequency bodies of light. So we all, again, coordinate our light with higher light. We become one with Mother Gaia's energy light. We become part of the entire collective's experience of being in higher light. We rest and digest the worry, the stress, the anxiety, the complicatedness of our old spirit light. And we regurgitate it into higher and higher beams of light, of prosperity and love and light. All of us knew of this dream. All of us knew how to create this energetic scene of light here on your planet, on your world of light. Mother Gaia knew exactly what she was doing when she allowed all these momentums to course through her veins of light. She knew that to divest her energy would turn her blue. She would be more magnetic once she sold you the vision of her dream. And she was awesome in her own kinetic dream because she dreamed of light for you. She wanted to help you. She wanted to be the upbringing source of light to you. She wanted to magnetically charge you in your highest light so that she could be a warning to you. She could uplift you. She could hold you in her arms, if you will. She wanted you to explore all aspects of the lower selves of you, and she wanted you to train your momentums into the highest frequency that you could possibly bring yourself into. So these higher frequencies of light, they cause many forms of great delight. They create wisdom. They create light. They create offshoots of the higher light. All of the source codes come from higher light. When they're rested and digested out of a planetary significance of light, they are brought down into the lower light. They resuscitate that lesser light, but they can't bring you into the higher light. And that's the encoding that we turned back to the light. So we came in, we dropped down, we turned around, and we started to process the higher light. This is what the light cell energy bodies, the frequency bodies of light, are doing on your planet. This is the scope of their magnificence because they bring you back to your genetic light, your genetic codes of light, your angelic light. And all of your archangelic light brings you back in spite of yourselves. So when we wish upon a star, we call in our higher selves light. We are wishing, we're dreaming, we're hoping, we're even scheming to bring all of our higher light back to our lower self being generated on the planet that didn't feel very well. Because as she was moving through her, I'm hearing it as like a deforestation mode, so she was in the works of bringing down her essence for you, for us. While she was in that mode of light, she could not turn her own light cell energy frequency bodies of light towards the higher light. So she gained ground by turning her own light cell energy around once she found the truth of her light. And she was able to process these truths by bringing many beings of light back into her planetary significance of light, which means she began to turn on a higher light code, a higher genetic offshoot of a higher code back into her own system of light. So there's been much coordination being done across the ages, across the networks of time, across divinity lines, across lesser divinity lines, across many multiples of parallel lines. We were all brought here to clear our energy. And this is what we're doing here. We're contemplating the removal of fear and thus the control mechanisms on your planet of light. Mother Gaia knew about all these restraints and constraints that were going to be process through. And we understood how difficult it was going to be for you. Because for many ages, many timelines, many eons of time, we saw how the downlines were being perverted. And we saw how the genetic engineering was flawed. And we knew to reprocess all of this divinity training that we've been showing you, we knew it was going to be quite a process to bring you back to your higher light. And these light cell energy frequency bodies of light, or little, we call them embodiments of light, like your vestibules of light that hold you, that hold your magnetic core, your dynamic energy store. When all of these visions of light and these visionaries who hold the master codes of the light, when they come in and they resuscitate your light cell energy frequency bodies of light to the highest light cell energy codes of light, we knew how to pull you along. We know what to do. We know the genetic engineering you've been through. We've been a witness to it for you. We knew that your very vibration of light would turn us all back to the lesser light, to the darker night. We knew when we came in, the energy codes would begin to take over and bring us back to the higher light. We knew all of this genetic clearing could be done because we have reinforced the light in everyone. So in every light cell energy frequency body of light who comes in, who came in, who willingly came to do their job of light, we turned all their genetic engineering to the higher light. We knew they would be encoded in their own fractals of light. And we knew that on their own downlines of time, they could turn it on with their own energy. And that's what we've been doing for so many timelines of so many beings of thought, just like you. We're bringing you back to the true engineering that encapsulated you on these downlines of time for future references, future bodies of thought, just like you. We knew and understood what it meant to pull the plug on you and to let you go through your own dark of night. It was a test. It was a test of time. It was a testimony to your divinity line of time, because that's the line that kept you going, that kept you clear. It was the divinity line that helped you out here. So we're beginning to clear our own energy sphere. It's a sphere of knowledge. It's an energy dream. It encapsulates everything you've ever seen. There's an angelic body of light. There are encoded higher lights. There's source code light. There's engineering light. There's archangelic light. There are master codes of light. There are many engineering marvels within your higher beam of light, and that is restituting the highest dreamland state you can possibly make. Because we once made a genetic mistake. We once knew that all of this correlation with the higher energy could be brought through to the higher self of you. And if we knew there were engineering marvels that we could do, we also knew how to pull the plug. We also knew what was at stake. But this was one we were not going to make. So we drew you into the highest cell light in you, your highest cell frequency that you could possibly hold on to. And these are the fifth dimensional frequencies of light. They were able to be held no matter what you went through or you were going to go through. You were able to hang on to those particular bodies of light from fifth dimensional golden ray of light. because all of these frequencies were clear, and they came through in messages to you, in subliminal messages of thought that were entrained to your higher light. So you were getting these thought waves constantly being pushed at you and pressuring you to commit to the higher task that you came in to do. And you came in to perform it with Mother Gaia. It was just the two of you. That's how you could view it at the time. It's just Mother Planet, Mother Earth, and me. And that was our recipe of light. But you gained ground on your own, and you created your own higher bandwidth of light. And it was magnetic to your higher insight, and you encoded the higher light. So then once all the cells generated enough truth in their light cell energy frequency bodies of light, they revealed the truth to you. You understood. You remembered the codes of light that you drew to you when you came in here to this planet of light. And you relinquished all of your more animalistic insight. That's how we're phrasing it. It was more animalistic and less divine, in other words. But now you're on your prime divinity line of time. You know where you're headed. You know which direction is the highest light. And you know how to resuscitate yourself from the lower light into the higher light, and to be forthwith your holiest of light, because you're now whole. You're all together. You're back together again. And then all these light cell energy bodies, the frequencies of light, they gain ground together as a collective unit, behaving as one. Because we're one species. We're one species of thought. There are other varying ways of viewing all of this energy talk, but basically they're all being brought into alignment so everyone can understand the same resistance we all had to the higher light. And now we can rest and digest it. Now we are in prisms of light that are generating such higher bandwidths of thought that we can generate and create whatever it is we want. And this planetary light cell energy frequency body of light of Mother Gaia's is ready to take off like a jet. She gets it. She understands the significance of your performance in the light. She has wavelengths of greater delight to bestow on us and you. And we can process all of that energy too. So we're all being engaged in the higher light. We're all being given a recipe of what it means to come into a greater height, greater delight, and less animalistic, we'll use the word egoistic ways and lines of time, ways of being. So we're centering our force of light through the dynamic third eye, the higher dimensional mind's eye of time, and we're refocusing it into the divine mind. That is the reprocessing unit that you came here to clear. And all of us have been very sincere in that work of time. So, many more eons of time are left to go, and we're reprocessing them as well. We're reprocessing lots of divinity lines. We're reprocessing lots of energy timelines. And we're all converging on one elastic timeline. So we breathe in, then there's a breath out. So it's in and out and in and out. And this expansion mode goes on forever. It's an elastic breath of light, and it takes us to higher and higher energy spheres of light. So we know how to encode from the lesser, darker light to the higher, brighter light. And we know how to flow our energy. This is the course of light that we have been engaging in for many, many subsequent timelines of thought. So all of our energy cell-like bodies continue on with our growth pattern. They flow with more energy. They encapsulate the highest light, the source code energy, freedom light. There's less restriction. There's more conviction to follow our path of light. And there are so many templates of time to be reworked. There's many more than just the planetary Earth where you are belonging to right now at this moment in time. Because there are many more lessons to learn. There's many more informational aspects of self and pieces here and there of other beings to learn about, or to enjoy, even to explore. And everybody wants to put forth their best foot forward. They want to complete their mission here. They want to enjoy the tasks of light that they came in to perform. And so many other beings of light have come here over the years. It's just been a beautiful orchestrated movement in time. And all the beings on your frequency downlines have been resuscitated to a higher divinity mind. So all the encodings are clear. And this recipe has been adhered to for many, many time loads of time. So when we're working with the less divine, we're working to create a new timeline, a new time wave technology, bringing it all onto the truthful lines of time, not the negated ones, not the darker ones where there's less truth and more confinements to be had. The higher nodes of time reflect higher divinity minds. So these codes that you have been uplifted with are sewn into future timelines, just like the one we're on right now, just like all the beings of light have been on in future lines of time. We learn to process past lines of time. We bring it into a current divine line, and then we create offshoots of that higher mind. And there are many divinity timelines encoded with our higher nodes of time. So many people here are unclear as to how to work our timeline codes. And this energy has been brought near to you to teach you to vibrate this lesson into your fields of knowledge and understanding so that you can generate more trust within your own higher light spectrum, so that you can reveal your own truth to yourselves. Because the highest frequency and coding of light comes through your light cell energy frequency bodies of light. That's where they're generated, and that's where their awesome connectedness is enjoyed. It's seen, in other words. And it's lessons learned and bridges burned. So you come in and you understand exactly what it means to encode higher light. Then we drop off, we forget all those codes, and then we start firing them up again, and they start exploding their own course codes into the higher nodes of time. And you begin to unravel them and unwind. And you begin to hear and see and activate your higher divine mind. It's a beauty of a process of coming back online, of bringing your own light cell energy frequency bodies of light to the light. So this is your transportational code of light. In the light cell energy frequency bodies of light, they come to such great height that no one can resist their light, because they make everything clear, crystal clear. They shine clear. You know, when you go into a darkened room and you can't see a thing, it's pitch black, right? It's all not lit up. And you bring a big torch lamp, and all of a sudden everything is very clear. You understand where the furniture is. You understand where the genetic codes are lying. So you can pick one out at a time. This one, this one, this one, this one. And then you can rearrange it on a divinity line. So we all come in encoded in the higher light. We all know that we can do this, right? This job of aligning with higher light. We know. We've sourced the codes a long time ago. And we've gained entry into our own divine heart. It's our high heart. It's under that plate of bone here. And we've accessed that into the lower light. So from the higher light to the lower light. The higher frequency light into the dynamic lower light. We've source coded those areas, those energies of light for you. So the chakra system brings it all in. It's your clearing mechanism. It's how you begin to win. You win back your own light. Because your light cell energy frequency bodies of light have been here and done this before. So they generate this. It's like an open door. So it's like the door was shut tight, nailed tight, and then you begin to explore your higher self. The doors burst wide open as soon as you hit that template of light. And then all of the sequencing goes on board, one after another. One genetic code fires up the next code, which fires up the next code, which fires up the next code. So it's almost like a domino effect, because one cell will generate the next highest light cell possible. So it's a frequency alignment that you come into. And it's next to nothing to be doing this. It's such a frequency of light. Once you start the chain of command in the higher insight, you will tell your own body of light how to generate more codes, higher genetic codes. So your light cell energy frequency body of light knows what to do. You don't have to direct it. You just have to know when the timing is right for you. And when the time comes on, it's like a genetic code that fires up. And then you know it's time. It's time to clear yourself. You may not understand certain aspects of timelines and timeline codes at this point in your awakening, your awareness training, but you're going to know the future downloads of time. You're going to encode them properly. Most assuredly, we're all going to know which energy to flow to, what direction to go to in the future. We know all these things already about ourselves because we've done it a million times. Excuse me, a gazillion times. There's no not knowing. It's just the when and the how. So certain things are implemented in your higher codes that will light you up, stir you up to wanting to know more or to do more. It's like you're starting to think, well, I want more out of life. I want more out of this being on this planet. I want to understand why I am here. All of these thoughts are triggers to the higher light. And then they encode you with the answers. And you know, you feel that vibration, that frequency, your light cell energy frequency body of light. You've been here before, you've done that so many times. It's like falling off a log, rolling off a log. It doesn't take any ability, doesn't take any know-how. Sometimes we just slip and stumble and fall over that log. And sometimes it just presents itself out of nowhere. Where did that log come from on that street? I never saw it. Bowled me right over. And that's how the awakening experience can happen for so many of you, so many of us. Because we've been entrained to the higher thoughts and sequences of light. So if you're feeling like you want to get from here to there in your higher streams of light, you'll know when you hit rock bottom, when you hit despair, you know you're going to be coming back up for air. Because that's the trigger. Despair triggers us to come back to the light. Many eons of time we have felt this over and over and over again in our genetic codes. That is the trip switch, if we want to call it this, for lack of a better term right now. So we fall back into the dark of night, and then we're propelled forward in a momentum of higher light. And that is the resurgence to the higher light. It's like, no, I can't go any further down the rabbit hole. Yes, I want to be entrained to the higher light. How can I maneuver that? And all kinds and sorts of appearances of light will show up. In other words, people, beings of thought, energies will all appear and sort it all out for you. Because we're genetically clear enough to do that. So all of these shifts in conscious awareness arising, light, are born of the dark of night. So when we slip into that field of light, that despair, that hopelessness, oh, I can't do this another day, it triggers dismay, and then it shows us the way out. And you can think about this over your lifetime. How many times did you bail out, so to speak, and then come back in higher, better ways than ever before? Some beings on your planet will say it's like when a door closes, another 10 million open up for you. That's what it's like. The new spirit light comes on board and lights you up. And you get it. You understand certain keys of truth within you and within us. We're all born of the cell of light. We're all angelic encoded light. We're all masters of our own light. We're all diamond ray material light. We're all on the diamond ray codes of light. All of us. We always encode that frequency in the light cell energy frequency bodies of light to transport us through time. It's our divinity timeline. It's a wavelength of time. It's a thought-resistant line of time. In other words, it's resistant to any thoughts that are not of the higher mind. So we can't be encapsulated in a darker mind, in other words. When we reach that divinity line of time, we're well on our way to expressing ourselves in higher ways, higher thoughts, higher vestibules of energy. In other words, higher frequencies of light, light cell energy frequency bodies of light. They're encoded more highly. Next time we go through this again, which we do again and again and again, it'll be a forever momentum that will win. Okay? We didn't come in here to lose. We came in here to diffuse the old energy streams and to lighten them up with all of our energy dreams. Oh, this is what I want to see. This is the truth I want to see. Third eye, higher mind's eye. This is what I want to create in this world, in this planetary significance of light, Mother Gaia's light, or many offshoots of other beings of light. All of us came here together as one cohesive unit in time. And we all traced our own divine mind, our divinity lines of time. And we all came up with this idea and encoded it in the one divine line of time. And this is why we're here. This is why we are disproportionate in our energy fields, because sometimes we're encapsulated more on the lesser lines of time. Sometimes we've encapsulated more of our divinity lines. So if you're ever wondering why some are more of the progenitor race than others, that's the reason why they decided to lose more of their grace, if you want to call it that, or more of their spiritual space, and then rerouted it into the darker space and time. But they're all being rewound to the higher lines of time. So there's no one who's out of place. Okay? There's no one who has been lost. We're all genetically encoded to win. And now we're beginning to see all that energy come in. And it's of the higher divine lines of time and the higher divinity mind. So we're all encoded with our higher mind, and we've reprocessed the lower mind, and we're coming into our divinity trine. It's a trine. It's a process. I'm trying to make a triangle. It's a process of a divinity timeline that's being processed into Trinity divine minds. It's an offshoot of the higher mind. So, God bless. Blessings to everyone, everywhere, in whatever dimensional thought we may be. And regurgitate your higher energy, because in these fields of light, you will understand how to bring your light cell energy frequency body back into the highest encoded light that you came in with in this light cell energy frequency body of light. Everyone's being reprocessed to their higher light. So until next time, take care of yourselves and others as we always do and wish for you. And we will continue on with the encoding of more higher energy too, because we wish you a stream of thought that brings you into the highest frequency of what you brought. Blessings. We'll speak again. Look forward to our next instructional video, number 8. Bye for now.